Sure.
All right, off we go. Julie,
Okay. Let me introduce you, my love. So if you guys haven't met Lauren Keller before, first of all, you're missing out. I think her and I fell in love at first squeeze, I think is safe to say. So Lauren is in Ottawa, and she's one of Lindsay Hill's coaches, and we've just hit it off from day one. She's energetic. She's amazing. Like, check out her social. She is everything we say to be. Like, she says it like it is. A lot of her posts have to do with poop, the mom life. She's got 3 littles and she's got a newborn right now. Like, she doesn't care. She puts it out there. She's a nurse. Her husband's a nurse. So they're just like saving lives around the clock through Beachbody and through their professions. That's right. She is a 1-star diamond, and so is her husband. In other words, so is she times 2. And she's just lovely. So she's going to give us a little bit of insight today about inviting with purpose. And this will be recorded as well. And we're going to try to keep it to the 40 minutes. So thank you for joining us tonight, Lauren. I really appreciate it.
I'm so happy to be here. I am so excited. So yes, Julie is an incredible human. Let's just start with that. And I am so happy for you guys to have Julie in your corner, because you guys are just lucky ducks. Okay, so tonight we're going to talk about inviting. I had energized before that is starting to kick in, so I'm really sorry if I become a little hyper. I also might swear if I get super passionate, so the baby's not going to know over there. So Nat, you're good, but anybody else, I might swear. I love that I see another baby. Laura, thank you for bringing your baby tonight too. Okay, so here we go. Let's get started. I want you guys for the next 2 minutes to kind of just put down your phones if you're multitasking right now. Baby, don't put the baby down, squeeze the babies. But really just focus for the next 2 minutes, because we're just going to do mindset to get us in the right mind frame. So inviting. I want you to think about who you were when you started. What were you doing? What did you need to hear? Were you that magical unicorn that found your coach and who signed up on Beachbody on the website and did it yourself? Or were you someone who needed to be asked 15,000 billion times about this opportunity? Yes, I see Trish shaking her head. Yeah, 18 months. Hi. So who were you when you started? The majority of us are going to be those people who needed multiple follow-ups. Okay. I want you to think about what you needed to feel. Was that a connection? What was that? Did you need to feel powerful? Did you need to feel like that person was a badass and you could be that too? What did you need to feel to say yes? What did you need to see? The consistency? Did you need to see her have a transformation? Did you need to see her happy and smiling? What did you need to see? And then what was that big shift? What was that moment that changed it for you?
Going into being a mom of 3, I had 0 intentions of doing it on my own.
That's it. So you guys can put it in the chat box too. So go back to there. And now I want you to think those words that you tell yourself every time you go to invite, because we all do this. So what do you say to yourself? What is that thing that's holding you back from doing it? What's that mindset that kicks in? Is it, I don't want to? Is it, what if they judge me? Those are the 2 biggest things that pop up. I want you guys to flip the switch. So I want you to change, I don't want to what if Julie or whoever your coach is on here didn't invite you? Who would you be right now? What would have not changed in your life? And then the second thing is, what if they judged me? Instead of that, flip the switch to, what if they need someone to feel connected with right now? What if they needed to feel like someone saw them today? What if they needed this community to hold them together today and feel invited and connected and important today? Now more than ever, that's what people need right now. So let's get going. I'm going to show out some nuggets, but let's flip the switch. So if you take anything from the call, that's it. Take those things from the call. Okay. Before you go to invite, you have to get your mindset right. That doesn't mean drink Energize right before every time you invite people, because we might have problems, but you got to get your mindset right. For me, that means listening to some pump up songs some days if my vibe is low. That means maybe jumping up and down, doing some Tony Robbins, like my team, and they know I do my Tony Robbins fist pumps and I kind of dance. Like that's what gets my jam up. That's what gets my vibe up. And then my connection is just so much better. If you're having a day, I'm going to start by saying this too. If you're having a day when your mindset is off, maybe that's just not the day to invite. I will talk about consistency, but every now and then you're going to have that shit day when you don't feel good. Don't send invites. They're just useless when you have nothing behind them. So just change your jam and get going. Okay. I'm not going to share scripts on this call because you're not me. So what I say is not going to necessarily work for you. There's a few things along the way that'll give you some ideas, but scripts are fantastic. They have to sound like you. And how you make them sound like you is you do inviting over and over and rinse and repeat. My verbiage sucked horrible at the beginning. And I had my coach, so Lindsay, I would send her what I said and she's like, you just verbal diarrheaed all over them. I'm like, because I got so excited because someone said they wanted information. And I'm like, bleh, and I gave them everything. And what happened? They got scared and they didn't sign up. But my verbiage also sucked because I wasn't talking with confidence and all these things that you will get the more you send invites. The more you connect with humans, the more you do this, the easier it gets. So new coaches, think of this as inviting as going to your favorite restaurant. If you've been to Ottawa, Pure Kitchen is like freaking phenomenal. It's one of my favorite restaurants. I will tell you, you have to have the cauliflower wings. And if you sit in the back table, it has really good lighting and it's like really fun and it's kind of like a community vibe. That's exactly how you invite. You tell them your favorite thing that you had. You tell them how good it was. You tell them the atmosphere. You tell them where they was. Was that scary if you tell your friends your favorite restaurant? No. So if this has transformed your life in any small way, that is what you're talking to other people about. That is what you're sharing. It's not scary. You're just doing something and you're sharing with someone else something that could transform their entire life. So our job as coaches is to show up on our journey. That is our office. Our journey, that doesn't mean you have to have a transformation, but it does mean you have to show the fuck up. You have to show up for your workouts. You have to show up for your personal development more than anything else. And you need to show up on your nutrition. You don't have to be perfect. No one wants perfect. Julie and I are not perfect, but we are freaking hilarious. But we show up like ourselves and we think we're funny. I don't know if we're funny, but we think we're funny. And people are connected to us because we're just authentically ourselves, which came over time. We didn't show up like this at the beginning. We got more comfortable and we kept doing the things. So show up for your journey and give the others the opportunity to say yes. Don't answer for them. By not sending an invite out because you think they don't need this or they already have a perfect body or whatever it may be, you're answering for them and they might be the person who needs this more than anything. Moira Kambucha Kasaba, I call her Kambucha. She was our top coach last year. She was she owned a gym or like bar or something. She did something and she was a like perfect shape, doing fantastic. And if her coach didn't invite her, would she be top coach in the company right now? Would she be home with her family? Would she be doing all the things that she's passionate about and leading her life with passion? No. So don't answer for someone because you think they already have everything. Social media is not everybody's backstory. It might be Julie and I's because we share too much, but for the majority of the people out there, it's not necessarily exactly who they are. So don't answer for them. And then be consistent in your journey. By being consistent in your journey, it means that other people know you're not going to give up on them because you didn't give up on yourself. So if you have a bad day, share that you had a bad day, but what you did to keep pushing forward, and then show up the next day and the next day and the next day and the next day. So they know you're not going to give up on them. Biggest hurdle for most people is verbal diarrhea. We all do it. even if we've been coaching for 5 years, we still do it because we get excited and I mean, we just do it. So biggest game changer is ask questions. One of the best questions you can ask is if when they say that they're interested or they want more information or they popped in your stories is, are you struggling with anything right now, health and wellness wise? And if that wasn't an issue, what would you most love to achieve? This question has been the game changer in my business over the last year.
Can you repeat that?
Yep. There will be the recording too if I say it wrong. What is your biggest struggle right now, health and wellness wise, or make it sound how you speak? And if that wasn't an issue, what would you most love to achieve? What that means to you is you can serve them better and you can talk with confidence because their struggle, you now know what you can do to help them. If their biggest struggle is weight loss, perfect. I know the perfect program for you. And then you can answer that. If they want to lose weight, if their biggest struggle is putting on weight, perfect. There's a eating plan that you can eat appropriately to gain weight. And I know the perfect workout program to have you gaining muscle. And I'm going to put you in my accountability group that's going to help work on the personal development and tie it all together. So those questions really are game changer in you being able to help serve them best and to talk confidently, which really is the game changer in you getting to them to sign up and to start their journey because they want to believe that you can help them best. So also doing the feel, felt, found. So I felt the same way when I started, whatever that may be, if you can feel, felt, found, but I felt the same way when I started. But what I found is when I finally started my journey, everything started to fall into place and I actually started to be consistent or whatever that may be. For me personally, Trish, I saw you shaking your head. It took me 18 months. I need a personal connection with someone. I need to feel like they're not just signing me up. I'm not getting this blast of a message and I don't matter to someone. I need to feel like I matter in order to do something like this. So it took me following Lindsay, hoping she would fail on her journey and therefore I didn't have to do this. I was an asshole. And I needed to see that if she failed, perfect. I don't have to try this either. But if she didn't fail, fuck, I have to start. And I just got to a really low place and I was sitting across from my husband and he said, let's just give this a go. But I still couldn't do it until I knew about that 30-day money back guarantee. My person needs to know that they have an out. But I had to reflect upon what I needed to know. Do I always offer or say that? No. But if I have someone who's been on the fence for months and months and months, I know that that person's me and I need to share that information with them. So that's where the reflection comes back into place. But my person needs to have that connection. So blast messages, hey girl messages are not going to work for me because my person isn't like that. But if you're someone who's like super forward and someone who just like cut the shit, tell me what you want. If it's for me, I'm going to sign up. If it's not, then okay. Then you can blast out those messages, but you might not be that person. So figure out who you are and that's going to be what your person is generally like. Okay. 1, I already said that. Invite the way that you want to be invited. Show up in your stories or wall very organically and invite from there. So for me personally, I share every single day my like morning routine, which isn't complicated because I have a baby. So your morning routine kind of fucking doesn't exist. But I have a book. Why are these messages? Why are Facebook messages popping up when I've closed Facebook? I don't understand. So hopefully you guys can't keep hearing the ding, ding, ding. Perfect. Okay, I have a daily motivational book. I quickly take a picture every single morning. I might underline it. It's really so I don't actually have to turn on a light to look at it and wake up my snoring husband. It's great that he still gets to sleep, but I gotta get up. So that book though, I show up every single morning with that book. If my morning is so rushed and busy, I take a picture of the book and off I go. And that's all it is. But that book is there every single morning. They see it consistently. And more than anything that ever happens on my stories, there is someone saying, what's that book that you're reading in the morning I see every day? Do you know how organically that conversation then can start and then transition? Oh, it's a daily motivational book I read. This is what it's called. Have you ever used a daily motivational book? Like, I found it really helpful throughout everything that's happening in the pandemic. Then the conversation starts. And then I go, I don't know if you also saw in my stories, but I'm actually about to run another wellness challenge. Are you doing anything health and wellness wise right now, or struggling with anything? Maybe it'd be a good fit. I'd love to support you since you've popped in my stories, which is so super sweet. You see how that's so organic? But you know what? That wasn't how it started. I had to get to this place. I had to keep going. I had to see what worked. So it's all a trial and error, but you've got to keep showing up. Okay. Also, if they're following along in your stories and they're commenting and liking and taking the time on your posts, they're in your shopping center. I can't think of the word. So they're checking you out. They're window shopping. They know what you're doing. So if you're showing up properly, that invite is natural and organic because they know what you're doing. So you have to show up. It can't just be all la-di-da on your wall and on your stories. You need to step outside your comfort zone in order for this to happen more organically and more naturally. Third-party tools. Third-party tools are like freaking fantastic in regards to not verbal diarrhea, because it's not you just speaking everything. Like, you do have to have some confidence and know some stuff, but there is power behind visuals. There's power behind showing something that's not just you or just like a dead graphic or whatever. YouTube is fantastic. That's where I get mine because YouTube's really easy to search. There's also the back office has a ton of stuff. For me, it's like I'll go in there and I'll go to be mindset promo and I know which ones I love, takes 5 seconds, and I share that over there to someone who said that nutrition is a struggle for them. And for like, you know, they need to lose a lot of weight or whatever, then I'm going to share, or they like dancing workouts. Okay, hold on. Can you look at this promo? I think this program would be perfect for you, and send them the promo. Third-party tools are fantastic. And even just showing them what bod looks like. There's a bunch of promos. There's one that I like, but I just literally type in bod promo video, send that over. Then they have an idea of what it looks like versus you saying, well, it's kind of like the Netflix of workouts, but it kind of gives an idea, but people are visual. Some people are just very visual and need to see it to understand it, to then make that decision. Okay, don't be attached to the outcome. This is probably one of the other things that if you take anything away from this call, this is important. People don't care about you. This is not about you, okay? That no has nothing to do about you. They are not saying no to you. They do not like you. They do not hate you. They just aren't ready to do this journey, or they don't need this journey, okay? It's not about you, but you have to get the no's to help the people who need to and who are ready for the yes. Those no's are all seeds. This business is very much a 3-month business. What you do right now is generally going to show up in your business in 3 months. Sometimes it's 3 years. I just had someone sign up from 4 years ago. I followed up for 4 years and they started their journey, but they are hella ready and they likely will probably coach because they are that ready. Had they signed up 4 years ago, they probably would have fallen off. They probably wouldn't have used the tools, and they probably definitely wouldn't have coached. So waiting for those people and following up over time, that doesn't mean I followed up with them every single month, but I did continue the connection because that's what my people need, is a connection. Okay. So if you may have sent out a share a cart, you may have, they may have not completed it. They may be busy. They may not care about your Success Club goals. They don't care about your needs to hit certain goals. So they don't have a fire under their ass to fill out the share a cart because it doesn't matter to them. It's not about you. So what you need to do is not keep all your eggs in one basket. Even if you have 3 share cards out, those 3 share cards, count them that they're not going to do it. Because most people aren't going to do it right away because they're busy and they have lives. And this isn't massively important to them like it is for you and your goals. And I hope you guys have goals that are that fire under your belly. Fire under your belly, fire under your ass, fire in your belly. That's not heartburn. I hope you guys have those things and that it's that important to you. So I will tell you guys, last month was the first month in probably 3 years that I've had a really hard month in my business. And it was the last day of the month, and I hadn't hit Success Club, which is like not normal for me. And I had done all the things that month. It just happened to be a month that it didn't align. I had 3 share cards out. I had connected with the 2 of them that said they were going to do it that day, but I knew better. And I followed up and I kept doing things with other people. Those 2 people, you know, when they signed up the next month, but they did, sorry, so this is last month. They signed up September 1st and September 2nd. Not when I needed them for Success Club points, but my Success Club points don't matter to someone else in their lives. So I had someone else sign up. I hit Success Club at 11 o'clock p.m. the night before. But it's because I have non-negotiables in my business, and that's why I continue to sign up. So also figure out what your non-negotiables are and show up like a boss until they happen, and then keep going anyways. Because what you do right now shows up next month. You're going to get a lot of no's. I already said that, but know that someone needs to be seen today. Someone needs to be invited today. Someone is sitting there and needs this out there. Someone needs this community, these women, you guys who are on here right now. Someone needs this connection right now, especially in this world right now where there's so much divide. There's so much like crazy fucking shit going on. They need people who are going to be there for them, who are going to support them, they need a community that's going to be showing up with positivity. And that's it. They need an outlet in their life to move their bodies. And if you are too scared to invite them, you are doing other humans a disservice by not inviting them with this gift. Because truly, I know in my life and probably every single one of your lives, this has transformed your life in some even little small way. I don't care if you just started your business right now, today, it's done something for you. You need to remember that when you send out that invite. So don't assume that they don't need that. Someone needs to say, like, to have you say, like, hey, how are you today? You have no idea who needs to hear that so much right now. Always leave the conversation. So someone says no to you. How do you finish that? You always finish with a question and with doing them service by giving them something. Easy things to give, free workouts. You have the Vimo links of like the ones you can YouTube, 6:45 promo workout. I don't send them specific Beachbody links personally for me because I don't want them to just go there and then sign up from there and then the connection is lost. I always ask them, and it's an easy follow-up then. Hey, did you ever try that workout? What did you like most about it? Now, if you have someone who already has something that works for them, I am so happy you have something that works for you. That's honestly what it's all about. What is your favorite thing? This is the thing that people forget. What is your favorite thing about what you're doing? So if it's like Peloton, what's your favorite thing about the Peloton app? Because I would love to infuse that into the hub, which is my community, to just make it the best thing ever. And then you have something to talk about, and then you can follow up. Hey, are you still loving that? Have they switched anything? Like, there's things that you can then continue the conversation about. And then you can always ask, like, hey, is there anything I can give you though? I know you're like super supported over in Peloton, but are there some recipes or personal development or workouts that I could share with you that might like fire you up or be of service to you? And then you're always leaving it with something positive and something that you can also follow up with, which I think is very, very important and can obviously take the ickiness that people can feel in an invite out of it. Be consistent. I already said that. Show up for your journey and your maintenance. So my maintenance is inviting for my stories and my posts, showing up on my stories and my posts, and just being authentically me. Those things have to happen every single day, as well as my personal development and my workouts and food. That's my weak point, as you could tell. But those things are my maintenance. So if I'm working a 12-hour shift, I'm come home, the kids are assholes, and they're not going to bed and all the things, and I'm just not in the right mindset, I still have to do, for me personally in my business, my non-negotiables. I have to hop on my stories, see who's viewed them. If anybody's new, connect with them and possibly send out an invite right from there, or those kind of things. That's my non-negotiable. You need to figure out what yours are based upon what your goals are. So is that 5 invites a day? Is that 10 invites a day? Is that 15 invites a day? What are your maintenance things? Those are things you need to figure out in order to be really consistent in having those goals and having them happen because you've done that consistently. Use your stories and posts to invite. I've said that. That's honestly the most organic way to invite and not feel icky, because you're not just blast messaging people. It's not just like the thing that you guys all probably have gotten, like, hey, I'm hosting this event, I think you might want to join. Like, no, I don't want you because that was icky and I don't know you and I don't want to connect with you. And everybody got this message. I want to have a personal message. So that's my person. You need to know, but like, that's where you're going to get your invites from. Use features on your, so we have 10 more minutes. Use features on your poll, like on your stories for polls, for questions, and be prepared for no one to answer them. No one answers mine. Sometimes I answer them myself. No one knows. Questions, I always answer them. But that's something you can still ask the question to all those people who viewed it. Even if they didn't ask the question, you go and ask them a question privately because they want to feel important like me. That's what you do. Then sort those people. Another thing that's really important to help find these people again. I do this thing where you probably won't be able to see it, but in my book, I have an invite section. You probably can't see it. No. So anyhow, it's really like random, but I have a column for invite. I have a column for coach. I have a follow-up column and a connection column. It's super easy. It's super bland and it freaking works. That's what works for me. I can't do a computer thing where I find all these things and I don't have time for that shit. This is what works for me. And also doing collections on Facebook. If you guys use Instagram mainly, on Facebook, you can now do collections as well. Yeah, it just started. It's under saved. So if you saved their posts, you can now put them in collections on Facebook. So I'm now going through this book and all my follow-up people who were invited before, who were slightly interested, all my share carts who haven't answered share carts, I'm putting them into a follow-up section so I can connect with them so much better. This is going to be a game changer. I mainly run my business on Facebook, so it's going to be awesome for saving time. Now, of course, I changed my page. I don't know where I'm at. Okay. Last thing I'll probably say is if you're running out of people, go A to Z and reconnect with your people. That would be over on Facebook. On Instagram, go to your favorite place. I love this place. Nat, you'll like this too. Oliver Me Handmade, something like that. I always say it wrong. It's a West Coast company that has like the cutest baby clothes. And they just look like they just belong in nature, every single one of them. I'm super naturey. So that's my tribe. I've connected with so many awesome women on there. And that's my people. So figure out who your people is, go to those pages, connect with them, and just organically, they're going to start looking at your stories and all the things. And on Facebook, you probably have a bazillion people you haven't connected with. Go connect with those people. The last one is birthday messages have been game changer with reconnecting. And I do it for the week. I don't have time to do it every single day. I do it on Monday and I connect with everybody whose birthday is that week. And I send them a private message because on the wall, they don't see you. You don't matter. It doesn't get seen. Private message. Happy birthday. I hope you're having a fantastic day. Are you doing anything to celebrate? Either way, I hope you feel all the love and all the joy and just have the most freaking awesome birthday. You know what they do? They send you a private message and then they start seeing your posts and then they start watching your stories and then it all organically happens. Okay, last thing. And then if you guys want to ask questions, I got 5 minutes. Personal development book. One of the good ones is called Go Giver by Bob Berg. I forget whose call I was on, but they like super said it was like game changer for this business. And it was one of the top 15 coaches in the company. Another one, which you guys have probably read, which is Fear is Your Homeboy by Judy Holler. That's another good one. But personal development, guys, is going to literally be the game changer in your business. If you're not doing it, sorry, this is going to be a really hard business for you because it goes through ebbs and flows and you're going to get a lot of no's. And if you don't pour into your personal development, you will not be having the mindset you need to constantly continue to move forward and not care about those no's. Okay, anybody have questions? It's my favorite part. I like do really well with questions. Someone asked me something. No, come on. They're all just looking at me like
My
I'm
bunch
crazy.
is always quiet. I'm the
No.
same way.
Come on, someone, anybody? No, look at her. She's like,
Okay,
just like,
I'll
no.
ask
I
you a
really
question.
don't. It was great.
Thanks. Okay, ask me a question, Julie.
Do you use voice memo a lot, or do you tend to
Yes.
write people?
No, so voice message saves my life because
Me
I
too,
have no
girl.
time. And as you can tell, like I'm like a super crazy person, but people like that energy for the most part. Sometimes I'm like, babies screaming in the background, don't send those ones. Unless you're like, oh, there's Reese, she wanted to say I too. That's my 10-month-old. What was I going to say? So yes, voice messages, they save me so much time, and people think it's like super cool that you can send voice messages and then you have the conversation of like, wow, I'm not tech savvy. I'm like, preach, neither am I. But that saves me time. Voice to text never shows up properly. I did something yesterday and it was like, whoa, that message was bad. I sometimes also do video. I videoed my team tonight before the call just to like also see your face. If it's someone who you're following up with a lot, the video one is really good to be like, hey, I hope you're having a fantastic day. Like just to see your energy and be really, again, it's that connection. People need that connection, and they want to know you. So they get that vibe better than just do, 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 do. So yes. Anybody else? No, we got 4 minutes. We can totally hit out some awesome. So I did this call for Tasha's team last Thursday, and there was like no questions. And then there was one question just as we were ending the call. We hopped back on the call and we went for another 45 minutes and like best questions ever, but we didn't record it. So I was like, damn it. So anybody questions? No? Amanda, I'm going to call out all your names. Amanda, Brittany, Amanda, Denise, Janet, Kelly, Claudia. I'm going to name you all. I'm going to go through. Steph, Trish, Brie, Melissa. Come on, guys.
So I'll just keep shooting stuff at you. I'm assuming that you do invites in chunks, not necessarily on a daily basis, just where you work shift work and all that stuff.
So it's kind of, so I'm on mat leave right now. So kind of, I do it every day for the most part, but there are days where I'll do more chunks over others. And again, it's just my vibe's up. So if my vibe is up, I'll definitely be more focused that day. I love to hop on the upline, like upline guided power hours. That was something. If you guys are struggling in your business or you feel in a rut or your vibe isn't good, Julie, you have them in your team page, like the link and stuff. You know what I'm talking about? Yeah, the Slay Squad one. Hop on those links. They are usually 3 times a day, 9 o'clock, 1 o'clock. This is Eastern Standard Time. 9 o'clock, 1 o'clock, and 9 p.m. So 9 p.m. would probably be late for you guys because it's 10. But those calls are gold, and you will find your people that speak to you too. Like some of them share scripts. Brie likes the one who's on Monday. I was on it last Monday, and she shared some scripts. Friday, every second Friday, Julie V is like my freaking jam this year. I love her. And she brings like the joy and the vibe and the energy. I send out more invites on her call than probably I send in a week, just because she gets me in the right mindset. And I have the best return on those invites because I'm just in the right vibe. So I highly suggest that.
I did decide I have a question.
Yes.
Tell me how you use your stories versus your posts, and like, is there a magic? Is there anything magic about what you put in your stories and what you put on the posts? Like that's where I struggle. I never know.
So I shit unicorns. No.
Perfect. So does Julie.
Right? No. So my stories in my life, like you could guys hop on my stories tonight. They're not as interesting today, but my stories is my life. There's something about the forest. There's something about the kids. There may be some food. every single day there's that daily motivational post. There's that daily, I usually do a chit chat before my workout. There is my workout. You'll see the kids and the chaos behind, so people feel connected with me because I'm not cleaning up my couch or the blankets that are thrown everywhere, because that's their life too. It's a mess. So we have less than a minute, so I don't really do anything, but what I say about showing up in your stories is it gives you content to put on your wall. So usually there's something that inspires me from my day, something from my pictures that really will go up and inspire me to do a post. Every Sunday is usually a transformation though. That is something that's been gold. It's just the biggest day to do posts and have people see it. Whoever sees a post, you should send them an invite. Yes. So I hope that helps. But yeah, no, there's no magical thing. I just share organically me, and I usually share who I am. Figure out your 5 things before this cuts off. Figure out who you are as a person, and that's what you show up on social media. I would probably say 3. I am a mom, I am someone who loves the forest, and I am a coach. Those are the 3 things you'll always see on my wall. And I'm also a wife and all the